We've got another bunch of amazing Xbox game deals and discounts to help make sure you have an awesome summer, no matter what the weather does or how the football goes. Ubisoft's massive summer sale continues this week, and if E3 has got you stoked for the upcoming Far Cry 6, then why not pick up this tasty 2-game bundle to keep you going until October. Far Cry 5 drops you into Hope County, Montana, an old-fashioned, out-of-the-way part of the country which would be quite charming if it wasn't in the grips of a doomsday cult and their devilishly charismatic leader. New Dawn then picks up 17 years later, where things haven't really gotten a whole lot better, as the attempts to rebuild Hope County are interrupted by nuclear fallout, roving bandits, and various other inconveniences. With the whole thing now 80% off, you'll struggle to find a better deal on this kind of high-caliber fun anywhere else.
Hello Neighbour 2 was another game that turned heads at E3 thanks to an impressive AI that's going to make your next adventure into Mr. Peterson's house even more terrifying than the first one. But if you're looking for a fun spin on the original to enjoy with your friends, then Secret Neighbour is now half price. Rather than going it alone with your Rear Window inspired mischief, Secret Neighbour sees you tagging in a bunch of friends to help you rifle through Mr. Peterson's belongings. Each of your buds has a different set of skills, so working together is the key to getting the job done quickly and cleanly. Watch out though, because one of your buddies is not what they seem. One randomly chosen player takes control of the neighbour during each game, disguising themselves as the other characters and waiting for the moment to strike. Oh, and keep your eyes peeled, because both Secret Neighbour and Hello Neighbour are currently skulking around the Xbox Game Pass library too.
The unveiling of A Plague Tale Requiem brought another awesome-looking sequel to the Xbox showcase. But if the reveal trailer had you wondering who those sad-looking kids were and why, oh good heavens why, there were quite so many rats, now might be a good time to dive into the first game. Set in France during the 100 Years' War, A Plague Tale Innocence has you playing as a young girl who is trying to survive in a land overrun with enemy soldiers, distrustful locals, and plague-infested rats, with little more than a simple slingshot to help her along the way. Stealth is everything in this brooding historical fantasy where danger lurks around every corner, and each new twist takes a tale to even darker places. Now 75% off and available on Xbox Game Pass, there's never been a better time to get your Plague on.
With all the noise surrounding Hades' imminent arrival onto Xbox, you'd think it was the only mythologically inspired isometric roguelike dungeon crawler with a lush cel-shaded art style and an unbelievably tight combat system. And you would be entirely wrong in thinking that. The thing that sets Curse of the Dead Gods apart from the other games in the genre is actually right there in the title, a dead deity's curse which gradually corrupts you as you hack and slash your way from one chamber to the next. It's an ingenious mechanic that adds a whole new element of risk and reward to the game by making you choose between taking on more corruption to gain a short-term advantage or going with what you got and risking another variety of grisly demise further on. Fortunately, with Curse of the Dead Gods now half price, you won't have to make quite such an agonising cost-benefit analysis of whether to buy the game or not.
How many right backs is too many right backs? If you've been enjoying the football this summer, you've probably found yourself weighing in on this and 1,000 other pressing tactical questions. So why not see if you could really cut it in the dugout with the Xbox edition of Football Manager 2021. The view from the sidelines has never been better than it is on the Xbox Series X and S, with the option to watch games in a richly detailed 4K display that really helps pick out all the little nuanced reasons why you're losing 5-0 to Scunthorpe. It's now down to half price, plus both the console and PC versions are available via Game Pass. Although sadly, it doesn't come with a dapper waistcoat or a bucket to sit on. Live it.
Overwatch fans were given a couple of sick new character designs to get them salivating over the upcoming sequel. But if names like Sombra and Baptiste still don't mean anything to you, then you can now grab the original game for a massive 67% off and get up to speed. This hugely popular hero shooter has built up a massive player base over the years and kept things fresh with a constant supply of updates, additions, and events. It's a game that somehow manages to get better year on year without ever diluting the idiosyncratic style and team-based gameplay that made it a hit in the first place. Overwatch now boasts 32 heroes for you to build your 6-person squads out of, from old school favourites like Winston the Gorilla to later additions like Echo, the deadly AI. Whatever role you want to play out on the battlefield, Overwatch has just the character for you, and you'll quickly see why the sequel is one of the most anticipated games on the horizon.
Perhaps the most astonishing thing from the whole of E3 was the gradual reveal of just how many major upcoming titles will be arriving straight onto Game Pass on day one. From Halo Infinite and Redfall to 12 Minutes and Forza Horizon 5. That said, Game Pass already established itself as the place to pick up the hottest new titles back in April when Outriders came charging onto the service. People Can Fly's blockbusting action RPG is essentially a third-person shooter set on a faraway planet where humanity's dreams of utopia have quickly developed into pure carnage. Which is a shame, but it does make it the perfect playground for a group of hardened soldiers with some newly discovered superpowers to try out, which is exactly who you and your buddies will be playing as. Now, Outriders currently looks like a smart bet to end up on a whole lot of best of 2021 lists, and you can own it now for 35% less than the regular price. Nice.
Life has often felt a little bit limited in the last 18 months, so why not broaden your horizons by living vicariously through a virtual version of yourself? The Sims has always been a great place to experiment with different modes of living without worrying about the consequences, and the fourth game offers even more boundless possibilities for your little gibberish spouting avatars to explore. That is especially true once you get the game's many expansions involved. There's magic to be learned and mysteries to uncover if you want to push your Sims in a more otherworldly direction. And much more importantly, there are also dogs to be petted if your dreams are a little less fantastical. You can buy the Sims 4 base game now for a hugely satisfying 85% off its usual price, while Game Pass Ultimate subscribers can grab it at no extra cost via EA Play.
Thanks to Jim Carrey's antics and a very fortunate character redesign, the world fell in love with Sonic the Hedgehog all over again last year when he burst onto the big screen. And if that reignited your passion for gaming's original speedster, he's got a bunch of classic titles at 50% off this week. Sonic Generations is a love letter to the series itself, blending the Blue Guys 2D and 3D eras and recreating classic levels from across the years in spruced up HD. Plus, there's also a pair of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Adventure games for you to tear through. Seriously, you'll have run those little red trainers into the ground by the time you're through. In which case, why not hop into Team Sonic Racing and let your car do the work for a while? Whatever Sonic game you pick, just rest assured there will be no unsettling jacked quadriceps or eerily human teeth to ruin your fun.
You want to know how you can tell that the XCOM series is a really big deal? We still use it as a touchstone to describe any other game that even slightly echoes its trademark style of turn-based tactical combat. That is a legacy right there. XCOM 2 is also a pretty unique game in that it begins at the point after which most games end. The alien invasion of Earth has already happened, and it turns out we lost. By the time you even yell your first command, E.T. and his pals have been running the joint for a decade. But they won't be for long if you and your squad have anything to say about it. Be careful as you go though, because XCOM does not mess around. If one of your meticulously customized soldiers finds themselves on the wrong end of an alien boomstick, you'll have to say goodbye to them forever. It's high stakes stuff, and you can get in on the action this week for just a quarter of the original price.
So that's a wrap on our post E3 deals drop. Plenty of stuff to help tide you over until the next batch of big hitters arrive. Let us know what you'll be playing in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be the first to know about all the latest deals, news, and general Xbox news. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!